I'm in the big leagues. Told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston. Ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh. Send it through quickly.
Episode 98, Eric and Brad Show. How's it going, everybody? We've been a little off lately. Brad has fully relapsed with pornography, and last week Eric was gone because he got really drunk, and he thought it'd be funny to release some hot air balloon into the sky, and then it all got misconstrued as a Chinese spy balloon and turned into just a national security threat. But you can find us Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. ErickandBradShow@gmail.com. ErickandBradShow@gmail.com. How's it going, man?
Pretty dang good. Very good, man. You're very good at the intros, being topical. And I'm getting a little confused because I don't watch the news much, but I know about the balloon. And then this morning, my wife had said something about something else, but I'm pretty sure about a half an hour ago, so today is Saturday, February 11th. It is 3:30. Pretty sure like 45 minutes ago, we shot a UFO out of the sky. It was on...
Pretty sure that was like last night.
Was it? It said Saturday evening in the report. And I'm pretty sure... No, I'm pretty sure two things have happened. Because this one wasn't the one that was out in the ocean or in the ice or whatever. This was... It was the Daily... It was on the Daily Wire. It was fucking Ben Shapiro deal. And when I read it, I was at lunch a little bit ago, and the article was released 10 minutes before I had read it. Pretty sure it was brand new, and it showed like Justin Trudeau had tweeted out like NORAD just helped us with taking out a unidentified flying object out of the air. And I don't know why we're shooting fucking UFOs out of the sky. That seems crazy. That seems crazy to me.
Why?
Dude, you gonna start shit with someone you don't even know? Like, that's crazy.
Well, it could be Russia or China, and it's just unidentified.
Or it could be the aliens flying around.
It could be, yeah.
And they're not very happy. They were just trying to get some reception for the Super Bowl, and we shot their shit out. And now they're like, we're gonna come fuck you up.
Now you're trying to be topical. I'm not going to lie. I don't care. I don't care if there's 1,000 Chinese spy balloons.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb to me. This whole thing is retarded.
If the aliens landed, I think a lot of people just wouldn't care.
At this point, dude, again, I don't watch the news, but the other morning, I did. I got up. The wife was just wanting to sleep in, so I let her sleep in, and I get up and I make breakfast, which is not my normal thing to do, and I turned the news on. I just sat there and took it in for like 3 or 4 minutes, and it was and mind you, the night before was the State of the Union address, and so the TikTok was just flooded with all this State of the Union stuff. And I didn't watch the State of the Union, but I'm seeing a bunch of TikToks. We are living in a clown show. Like, it's a clown show. This is a joke. That State of the like, and what I honestly am more mad at, I keep taking the Republican side on things, but that was just all a joke. Every single person involved. I'm gonna turn this down a hair because it says I'm clipping. Did that mess with the audio too much?
No, you're fine.
Dude, I felt like I was watching. It should have been on Nickelodeon. It was just they'd say something and like boo, boo, and it was like, what are we? What? It just seemed like a bunch of children were up there doing the State of the Union address. Like, I get like the last State of the Union, but by Trump was bullshit too. Just like, what have we become of a country? And then just the news. Yeah. The news. Then they went from that actually the news I was watching had nothing to do with that. When I clicked on, it was talking about the insurrection. And again, anytime I hear the insurrection, every time I turn on the news, I hear about the insurrection. I'm like, how long ago was this? And why is this on a repeating news cycle? Like, this is crazy. This is
what is the insurrection? Oh, January
6th. And then the way I was watching ABC, and the way they worded it was just so bananas. We're living in a clown world. It's just a clown world.
Yeah. I don't know what's happened to me recently, but I don't think I've cared less about politics in my life than I do now. I just do not care.
Yeah, what happened? That was the good days. That's what, like, when I look back at being 19, it's crazy to me to look at 19-year-olds now. When I was 19, I gave a flying fuck about politics. Like 0%.
Yeah.
Did not care.
Zero.
I would say, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, I'm a liberal and I think healthcare should be free, but I never voted, and I could care less about voting, and I could care less about who the president was. Ask me at 19 who one of the Supreme Court justices were, and I would have been like, I don't even know what a Supreme Court justice is. So, like, but now 19-year-olds are, look at a TikTok video, dude. They're like so invested. I bet most 19-year-olds could at least name one person having a seat on the one of the judges.
Supreme Court.
At 19, there's a 0% chance any 19-year-old I would have talked to could have told you.
What sucks is that, like, next year, the presidential election will be November 2024. So this summer, they're going to start. That's when the campaign starts, is this summer. You know how they have, like, the Democrats, they have all, like, 10 people, Republicans 10 people, and they all do the big debates, and then it gets down to the last couple.
It's so
but that starts this summer.
It's so terrible.
And I don't want to become all obsessed with it again, but that happens to me. And right now I don't care at all, but I'm going to start caring, and they're going to get me fucking hooked in. It's like it's a reality show. It's like you're hooked in to like a fucking TV show, basically.
It is a reality show. And I hate when you get on like the conspiracy theory like sides. I hate when they're just like, this is how it is, this is how it is. But when people are saying like this is essentially what the Romans did right before the fall of Rome. Just get the circus going and get people all distracted. Yeah. That's what's. I mean, I'm not saying that is exactly what's happening, but when you turn on the TV, turn on any conversation between any political figure, it's just we're watching WWE. Like WWE is almost reality right now. Like 20 years ago, that was like, that's crazy world over there. And now crazy worlds are almost dead even. And if this next election, so dude, how shocked would you really be if like during the debates, like 10 people are standing there and someone like picked up their chair and smashed it over someone else? You'd be like, yeah, I could see that happening, you know?
Yeah. I just don't care anymore.
We live in a clown world.
I know it sounds shitty to say, but if they were like, okay, you're no longer America, now you're Canada or something, I'd be like, okay, what's on TV tonight? I just don't fucking care.
I don't care either. I do not care either.
But it comes in waves. So it comes in phases. So this is just a phase right now where I don't care.
Can I tell you
it'll come back.
Can I tell you a story, or were you going somewhere with that? I'm assuming that we can be over with that.
I'm not going anywhere, man. I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here.
And stop me if I've already told this story. I'm sorry. I can't remember conversations we have on this show, and I'm very sorry. But the other day, I went. Did I tell the gummy story? Eating an edible.
No.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was sick of the way pot was being smoked. I didn't like it, and I thought it was inefficient.
Just recently?
Yes. Like 2 weeks ago. So I don't know. Not too long ago. Within a month. Somewhere within a month. And so I went to the weed store, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go with the vape juice, the cartridges, which I'm not into smoking that much THC at all. But I was like, it just seems so much easier just to smoke that way, like less messy, less like packing bowls and cleaning things, And so I got that, and then I'm standing there, I'm like, oh, I'm going to get some edibles. And usually I steer clear of edibles because I don't want, my goal in smoking pot is not to die. Like, that's not what I want.
Yeah.
I just want to get a little stoned. Just at 11 o'clock at night, I just want to get a little stoned. And that's what I want. So, and I don't know what the day was, but I wasn't working. There was nothing going on. It's like, this is going to be a great day to just, like, get stoned a little bit, like, in the early evening. You know what I mean? It's not my normal thing. So when I went and got the edible, I asked the girl, and I knew the cartridge I got was It's 70%, so kind of heavy. But I was like, do you have any 10 milligram? Because everything I was seeing was like really big, high THC gummies, like really powerful gummies. And I'm like, I don't want any of that. I was like, do you have any like 5s or 10s? You know, just a little bit, 5-10 milligrams that I can just take and just feel good. And she's like, oh, yeah, these boxes down here, it's a 100 milligram box, but it's all divided amongst the gummies. And I'm like, okay, but she seemed like kind of a retard, you know. She didn't seem like, I didn't exactly trust her, but I 50-50, whatever. You know, okay, yeah, throw that in. And I get this little box, and I get in my truck, and it's like 30 seconds to my house. It's literally like 8 blocks from my house. So I get in the truck, I'm like, oh, fuck it, and I just pop a gummy. And I'm like, let's see where this goes, you know? And then I was like, oh, shit, I'm going to go, I need to get a battery for this little thing. So I, 2 more blocks down the road, there's a head shop. They don't sell pieces inside weed shops. I don't really get why that isn't a thing. But, so then I go over there, get a little battery, drive home. On my drive home, it's been 8 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, 8-10 minutes. My drive home, my face, starts feeling tingly. And I'm like, and feeling warm. And I'm like, God damn. I'm like, whoa, that's weird. And then I get home and I'm like, I'm getting stoned. And I was like, it has not even been 10 minutes. Like, what in the fuck? And I go in my house and I'm reading it and it says, dude, it says 100 milligrams per gummy. And I'm like, oh no. Oh no, it's still daylight outside. I can't fucking do this. I can't deal with this. No. And I get Cheyenne. I'm like, babe, what is that? Read this. Tell me, am I wrong? And she reads it and she's like, no, you took 100 milligrams. And she doesn't know what that means. And I'm like, dude, my heart literally sank. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this right now. Please make it stop. And dude, I go in the bathroom and
no, that's a terrible mindset to be in. You gotta.
I went in the bathroom and made myself throw up, and I was like, get any residue out of here. I don't want to fucking do this. I don't want to do this. Just make it go away. And I had just eaten noodles, so I have it's essentially a full thing of top of ramen comes out of my, and it lands in the sink. My wife comes in, she's all pissed because there's noodles all over the sink. I'm like, I'm sorry. I just wanted it. I don't know why I didn't go to the toilet. I didn't think it was going to be a bunch of things. I just thought a little bit would come out. Just a little bit of shit would come out. And it just I gagged myself and it.
Do you get drunk really fast? Like a couple of beers and you're drunk?
No, complete opposite.
Okay.
No, just anything hallucinogenic hits me real hard. And wow. I'm nervous of hallucinogenics. I don't go. I'm not that kid that whoa. No, I ease into things and make sure it's safe waters, because the first time I did mushrooms was terrible and was scared the living fuck out of me. So I don't take that shit lightly. And weed, dude, I don't know how people. I think I'm affected by weed different than other people. Because I complete loss of appetite, 100%. I can't eat when I smoke weed. Can't do it. Zero appetite. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm gonna puke if I stick food in my mouth. It's gross. Doesn't sound good. Nothing. Beer, on the other hand, complete opposite. That'll start eating. But then, dude, I get stoned and I get paranoid. Even if I'm smoking all the time, dude. If I cross that line into actually being stoned, I'm just going over in my head how I've done everything wrong, who I've wronged, how that situation was wrong. And it's just my mind doesn't go to any happy thoughts. It just bounces from terrible thought to terrible thought, and just oh, you did that wrong. You did that all wrong.
Yeah. Well, that's what the come down from mushrooms was always for me. It was nose to nose with a mirror, and I was like, oh fuck, dude, my parents, dude. And it's oh my god. That's the fucking come down. But dude, if you if someone doses you, or you're in a situation, you took 100 milligrams, you thought you were gonna take 5, you gotta just fucking grab the snake.
Yeah, you gotta go with it. You gotta go have fun.
You have to. Yeah.
You gotta go have fun. And it's funny when I can trick myself. Usually the way I trick myself is just I can counterbalance it with drinking. And that's usually my go-to. Usually if something bad like that's about to come on, pot, mushrooms, whatever, it's just, okay, I need to down like 5 beers real fast, because that 5 beers is going to counteract. Just getting a buzz is going to change my mindset, and I'm not going to be anxious. I'm going to be I'm going to be happy. And then if you can go into even a rough fry, if you can go into it being happy, it's not that bad. You're just like, everything's giggly. It's that depression and that anxiety, like, just it makes a fry twice as bad. Like, it doesn't matter what the actual drug is doing. That anxiety grabs the drug and is like, no, you don't belong here. You belong up on this shelf up here, controlling everything. And you're just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, like, right now, for me, no fucking way. No chance.
I never got those kids either. That, like, dude, they could just take mushrooms, and they're just giggling. They're just like, ha, ha. It's like, how are you not, like, doing a few deep breaths here and there? You know, they're just, like, having the best time of their life every time. I've never understood those people. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, me too. It's thin ice. I'm on thin ice. Yeah. Ugh.
Dude, it gives me anxiety even thinking about it. I start thinking about frying, and I'm like, oh, whew.
It's funny that you were looking for the smallest amount, and then that's where you ended up.
Dude,
sure
I didn't even fit. I got way off the fucking topic. Then my wife picks up the fucking box again, and she's like, oh, no, we were wrong. These are only 10 milligrams. And I'm like, and then I felt like an absolute idiot. But at the same time, I was like, how did I feel it within like 5 minutes? It hit me so quick. I don't know why it hit me so quick, because it should take like a...
Well, I thought it's because it's processed by... I forget what it's processed by, but it's either processed by your liver or your kidneys.
But it still should take like a half an hour before...
Unless you have failing liver or kidneys.
Bam, dog. I like how you throw that
Well, that's why I asked if you get fucking drunk quick, because that's the same... I imagine... I'm not a doctor, but I imagine that might be the same situation, but I don't know.
No, failing liver, dog. I mean, I've seen 2 people go through it, and they drink the same as they did, 5 years before that. And it just, it runs in my family. We can fucking drink. Like, we're just really good drinkers.
Because when you smoke weed, I mean, it goes through your lungs, but when you eat it, it's processed by a different organ. I don't remember which one it is.
I think it's your liver, and then I think it's your liver. I don't fucking know. I'm not good at anatomy and how that shit works. But
so maybe there's something there.
It shouldn't take. I mean, I don't take them a lot, but from what I remember, I've done edibles. I don't know, a handful of times in my life. Every time it seemed like everything else that you ingest orally takes a little bit to kick in. Like, takes a little bit of time to fucking get going.
The first time I did, I asked my dealer, back when there was not weed stores where you could ask a wise person like you did.
Fucking,
and I was like,
17-year-old girl with fucking juicy shorts on. Yeah, okay.
I was like, can I buy an eighth or whatever? And he's like, I don't have any weed. He's like, all I have is a cookie. One cookie. And I'm like, okay, I'll buy it. And I gave him like $30 or something, and I ate the whole cookie, and it was like a fucking acid cookie, dude. It was like, it was souped up, and I'm just lying on my bed holding my chest, and I'm like sweating, because it was like not weed. It was like extreme.
Dude, I was having this conversation with Buddy the other day, and you're not a big weed guy, but there is, dude, I don't know what it is, and it doesn't make sense to me, but those first few times you smoke weed, you'll never get that again. It doesn't matter if you quit for years and then smoke pot again. You may get really stoned, but those first few times, dude, I was gone. Like, I was hallucinating, legitimately hallucinating the world. And I haven't hallucinated off weed since like the first 3 times. Like, I remember one of the times, like, going to my buddy's room, we're trying to hide from his parents, so like lights out, and like I'm closing my eyes, and just the blackness, it was like kaleidoscopes, dog. Just blah, 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 blah. And you'll never get that, not as an adult, and I don't understand why that is. And I'm assuming this weed cookie thing was early in your weed smoking career, or? No.
Yeah, like a year or two in, but I'd never eaten it before. Dude, the first time I smoked weed, I was in the Tri-Cities, Washington, and it was kind of sketchy.
The first time you smoked weed in Tri-Cities. Tri-Cities is sketchy, but
I know, and it was sketchy then. And I was with one person I knew and like 6 people I didn't know.
Oh,
we were in a
terrible.
Park. We were in a park, like in a park, well, an empty park has those like concrete and then kind of a thing like where someone will perform.
Yeah, like a pavilion or yeah.
Yeah. And we were like sitting in a circle in that, and it was like, and there was like cars going by, and it was like, this is fucked. And they were like, they held it for me and held the lighter and held the fucking pipe and like told me what to do. But I was out of my comfort zone.
That sounds miserable. That sounds so bad.
Yeah.
Man, the amount of times I've had bad experiences, like just going back to being a kid, just being in like, it's so nice being an adult that you've dealt with so many situations that you know what's coming and you know what not to do. But you're a kid and peer pressure and you don't know any better and you're so obsessed with how people are like looking at you. You're just like, oh, this person. Yeah, you know what I mean? Just so like, oh, they're all looking at me. They're all looking, everyone's paying attention to what I'm doing right now. And it's, I mean, it's 2 things. 1, you get older and you realize everyone else is just as insecure as you are. And then 2, you stop giving a fuck. So you know what I mean? No one's going to peer pressure you into doing something stupid, even strangers. You're just like, no, I'm not doing that, dog. I'm not going to sit in a park with 8 strangers and smoke weed. You can all go fuck yourself. Like,
yeah. Right. That's even now when people are like, take this shot. It's like, no. It's like, then you're a bitch. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I don't care. I know what I want to do.
I don't care.
And I want to drink my 6-pack. I'm not taking shots with you. The amount of, because I'm a big drinker and I go out drinking with people all the time. And the amount of shots I've turned down is astronomical. And I've gotten that before. Like, dude, take a shot. And I'm like, no, I know how to handle this. And I know where it's going to go. And if I start taking those fucking things, I'm not in control anymore. Variables could start popping up and the night could end very differently for me.
Yes. You're right. It's sort of, I don't know, I'm not going to say we take it for granted, but it is sort of an unrecognized blessing of just being an adult. And you're just like, no. And you don't care. Instead of being like a kid when you're like, I'm going to say no and I'm going to like fucking take a stand for this. But as an adult, you're just like, I just don't care.
Yeah. The only things you care about as an adult is like, like money. That's what you care about. You don't give a fuck about how people look at you. I think maybe, maybe women might deal with that a little bit more. Because I was telling
someone last week that I'm like, there used to be times when people would get an idea at like midnight and let's fucking go there, dude. And it's like, all right, let's go. And we all go somewhere. Now it'd be like, no, I'm not going, dude. I'm going to bed. Yeah. Like, I'm not going. I've had those nights, and then you're stranded somewhere. You don't have a fucking ride. You fucking start walking, calling somebody. Can you come pick? It's like, I'm just not going I'm not doing that anymore. Yeah. That's fucking young kid stuff.
I love hanging out with people, and I'm a social butterfly. But, dude, I don't want to leave my garage. I start drinking, and I try to get people over here. I'm like, come hang out with me. But, no, I'm not going anywhere. Like, that's not happening. Yeah. I'm going to stay in my comfort zone. I'm going to stay where my bed is 40 feet away from me, and there's a bathroom 30 feet away from me. Like, everything's covered. All the bases are covered. I don't have to worry about getting a DUI. If I got to take a shit, I am 20 seconds away from taking a shit right now.
Because there were so many nights, it's like 11, like, dude, Coeur d'Alene Casino? It's like, yeah, Coeur d'Alene Casino, dude, let's go.
Man,
it's like,
dude, let's talk about the emergency shits, dude. Those are the worst. Like, you're out with a bunch of friends or something, like 10 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? Out just doing something. And, like, I don't know, it happens, just, oh, no. It's so nice to, like, be at home or be in a buddy's house that you're, like, close to. A safe situation, where everything's known around you. Not, like, in someone's car on your way to a movie theater over here, and you're like, dude, I got to shit. And it's like, oh, no, dude, this is not, it's just a whole ordeal now. It's a whole ordeal, and I'm on a clock. Now we got 5 minutes before I need to be to a toilet. Like,
yeah.
You don't want to talk about poop, but
We gotta get Grandpa home. Dude, okay. So, Super Bowl's tomorrow. I'm not going to say too much about it because this show is going to come out after the Super Bowl. So, I did the Super Bowl preview last week. I don't want to, I don't want to talk shit right now and then have to...
Eat your words?
Yeah, I guess. But last week when I said there's a bet that will the power go out at the Super Bowl? Because one year the power went out at the Super Bowl. So now every year there's a bet if the power will go out at the Super Bowl. It's plus 1,600. So if you put $100 on yes and the power goes out, you win $1,600 off of 100. Okay?
Okay.
So what we're going to do is next year, this is a year-long plan. We're gonna shut the power off at the Super Bowl next year. But me and you we're gonna get $100,000 together because we can get $100,000 together. Every adult, if you're an adult, you should be able to pull $100,000 together, right? And we're gonna put $100,000 on the power going out at the Super Bowl next year,
and then
which will win $1.6 million.
And then literally
$800,000.
Spend the rest of our lives in prison.
No, a couple months at most. 800,000. Okay, off of $100,000.
No, that would be.
They
would treat that as a terrorist attack, and you would be in a.
No, they
yes,
wouldn't.
they absolutely would. Fucking with a building that has how many 75,000 people
60,
in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, dude, that ain't going good, dog. You're going in.
You're
going in one of those jail cells that the January 6 people are in, where we haven't heard from these people. They're down in fucking Guantanamo Bay or some shit like that, being held.
You are not going to Guantanamo Bay, dude. A couple months.
You are high
most.
as a.
First of all,
you're high as a kite.
That's only if you get caught. Okay, we're not gonna get caught.
And I don't think that that's a thing. I'm surprised the power did go off because I would assume any building like that, why would they not have massive generators set up? Like every building in the world right now has that.
It's pulling massive amounts of power.
Dude, Intel, you could shut the power off to Intel warehouses that are pulling astronomical amounts of power. Like they are probably 10% of our grid in Portland, and you could shut
I like the way you're thinking.
Shut the buildings down, and they are fine. Their generators are going to kick on. Nothing's going to shut down. Generators.
Okay, then we're going to kill the power to the generators too.
Okay.
Dude, we have a year to study blueprints of the building and here's what I'm thinking. Like the movie Inside Man, I'm thinking one of us goes in a week before when there's less security and posts up in there somewhere in a broom closet or something with like a fake wall, and you wait a week and it's a slow burn, and then during the game you come out of hiding and you're all dressed and you got some sort of fucking gear on, and now you know right where to go to shut the power off. It can be done. And here's where I'll sell Eric. We can wear suits while we do it. We can be like Jules and Vincent Vega in Pulp Fiction, if that's how you want to roll. If you don't want to roll like that, I'm going to go for a Leo DiCaprio in The Departed look, like the jacket, the hat, glasses, backpack. Unless you want to wear the suits, we'll go with suits, okay? I knew that's where I'd get you.
Yeah,
and we can
you pretty much got me, dog.
And a fake mustache, too, or some sort of fake facial hair, because I'm pretty sure these very advanced buildings have, like, facial recognition stuff. So, and there's going to be no way to avoid the cameras. So they're going to get you on camera, but they're not going to be able to identify who is that person. Because then you're out, fucking facial hair is off. It's like Mission Impossible.
Dude, in blackface, dog, perfect.
All right, yeah, I'm fine with it. If you want to wear blackface, wear blackface. That's not a bad idea, actually. And all we got to do is figure out where's the power and where's the fucking power to the generators. And I think it's easy.
You said 1,600 to 1?
No, 16 to 1.
It's 16 to 1 odds?
Yeah.
Oh my.
$100 wins you $1,600. So that makes me think 100,000 would win you 1.6 million. Bro, it's in Arizona this year. They have rolling blackouts, and it's in Las Vegas next year where they also have rolling blackouts. You know what I was thinking today? I was thinking this would make a good movie. And then the other thing I thought today was at the end of the movie, the guys get caught before they take the power out, and they're sitting in their jail cell, but like a cop is watching the Super Bowl at his desk, and they're in their jail cell, and then all of a sudden, randomly, the power goes out at the Super Bowl after they've been busted and they're in jail, and they win the bet anyway. I was like, fuck, that's pretty good.
So I've always actually I've always wanted to talk to like a professional, I guess, gambler, but more like a professional, I guess a statistician or something like that. Like, there's obviously people that get paid lots of money to deal with gambling. You know what I mean?
Lots of money.
To deal with numbers. And I've always honestly been really impressed with dealers. I'm always like, how are you doing this math so quick? You know what I mean? Like I'll be on a roulette table and I'll bet there'll be 20 bets down and that ball will land, and they've got all these different money levels all across the table, all at different, odds. Payouts. And they'll just like bam, 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 and it's not on a computer, or maybe it is. I've wondered, is that what's going on? They're being told, like, is there something I'm not seeing? Because I'll have like a stack of chips like this big on a 1 in 36 odds placement, and they'll just like bam, 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 and honestly, every casino could have cheated me out of so much money at this point, because they'd be able to just put any amount of money in front of me, and my odds are, I don't understand them. You know what I mean? I'm like 1 in 36, and I'm dealing with a $320 bet. It's like, I can't do that quick. I don't have a piece of paper in front of me. You know what I mean? And they're just like throwing it out. But what I was getting at is, you're saying we're
doing this, right?
You're saying there's a 1 in 16, 1 in 16th odds. I've always wondered, like with horse racing or anything,
who's setting them?
Well, no. Think about it. If you're like, let's say I am gonna run, like, I'm just like, okay, I got $100,000. I'm gonna invite a bunch of people over, and I'm gonna play house for whatever we're betting on. Mm-hmm. And then I get all these statistics laid out. And when you say 1 in 16 odds, that means if you put X amount of money down, you're going to win 16 times that amount of money. Okay? Yeah. Like, so the idea is that the odds are so shitty that you're not going to hit that the people who are betting on the opposite side, there'll be so much more of those people that they'll cover the odds of the other person. But like, let's break that down. Like, I get that. What I don't understand is who's actually taking those bets. Like, why would you go to a horse track and bet a 1 in 16 horse to lose, even though the odds are greatly in your favor? If like that, the odds, the 1 in 16 that the power will go out. Let's say I get $10,000 together and I bet on that. Mm-hmm. I only win $625. That's a lot of money to throw down for $600. It's like, are people just coming into horse tracks or anything like that with these weird odds and just putting $10 million down on a 32 to 1, and they're just like, well, because then I'm gonna make $1 million. You know what I mean? And that's going to cover my year. Yeah. But it's like, why would you? I don't think I get the idea. I just don't. I can't wrap my head around the people that would actually do that. It's such a low payout. It's like, you could use, I don't know. Maybe there is a lot of people that's how they invest. Is like, we can just go take this money and go and invest in a bunch of high odds, or reverse, like low odd things. And yes, we're not making that much money, but we're like almost guaranteed to win. So if you're dealing with $10 million and you're just doing that, horse races, casinos, whatever, with these things that are guaranteed to win, you just like, oh, well, that pays for my rent for the year. You know what I mean? That one time of doing that. And we still have our pot of gold. But why would you do that? Because one time that pot of gold might go by and you're like, fuck. I just lost $10 million.
That's what I've seen screenshots of, they bet 10,000 to win, $800, and it fucking loses.
Yeah, like, why would you do that? That's such a... I don't know.
You're asking why an addict would
That
do
doesn't,
something.
but that doesn't kind of fuck with you. That doesn't like at all. It's always fucked with me. Like I get it. I understand it.
I get it
I understand
too.
the math.
Yeah.
I'm saying it just doesn't seem to jive in my head. Like it.
I don't know. I don't know what you're. I don't know how to answer that. Oh, what I'm thinking.
Do you
is,
agree
you know,
at all
these
that
places,
that you get like? Do you agree that?
Not really.
Okay. It seems weird to me sometimes that the money's actually there. That the money's there.
Well, I think you're talking about institutions that have a giant fucking bank of money that'll take those bets. Like average Joe down the street is not going to be taking bets for the power to go out and be like, "Hey, I'll take this giant fucking." I don't know. These places have a lot of money to give out, and maybe other losses pay for those fucking wins, or some pays for the other. I don't know. But then a line for a game will start out like, "Oh, the Patriots are +4, the Dolphins are -4," and that'll be based on the teams, and then, as people are placing bets on them, the lines will change to entice people to bet a certain way. A lot of reasons the odds change coming up to a game is because all the bets are going on one. So then the experts then shift the odds to get more money to go to the other way. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because they got to pay for the other side.
Right. It's all probably done by very advanced computer software. I have no idea. I don't know where they even come up with these numbers. What's fucking crazy to me is that there's so many times when they're like the over-under of the game is 50 and the fucking game comes to like 49. And it's like, how did they get that close? And it happens a lot. It happens consistently where they like nail it. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't know. I think people are stupid and they place bets on stupid things, and most of the time they lose. Maybe the slots are just paying for all the fucking sports payouts, you know?
Okay.
In like a big ass casino. I don't know. But if you're just like, I'm going to be a bookie now for the people on my block, you're not going to be able to take a lot of bets. If some guy's like, I want to put $100,000 down on the Eagles, you're going to be like, I can't take that bet. No way. Because you don't have the money to pay it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Like, yeah. I just don't, a lot of bets sometimes, I don't see why, like, I don't see that the money's actually being backed up on the other side. Because, like, who would be doing this? That doesn't make any sense. Who would be investing money in such a low payout?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there was a bet that was like, will Tom Cruise parachute down into the stadium and hand the game ball to the refs before the game? And you could bet on that.
What's actually surprising to me is that the odds of the power going out is only 16. Like, that's a...
You think it should be like 100?
Oh, yeah, way more.
It happened like 10 years ago.
One time?
Yeah, one time.
It's happened one time.
It was out for like...
in NFL
It was out
history.
for like a half an hour. It was out for like a half an hour during the Super Bowl.
I don't remember that at all.
It was February 2013. It was weird. That's why the bet's there. Before that, the bet probably wasn't there. Now, for the rest of our lives, you'll always be able to bet on Super Bowl power outage. But what we're going to do is we're going to shut the fucking power off. And I don't know, if we can get a third person involved and they put up $50,000 too, we're good. We're fucking placing a $150,000 bet. And don't you worry, I'll handle the placing of the bet because I'm going to do it with Bitcoin and we'll do it anonymously. You know, anonymous payout, anonymous bet placement. Because if you were in a casino and two guys came in dressed in suits like fucking Vince Vega and Jules, and they were like, we want to put $100,000 on the power going out of the Super Bowl, you'd be like, oh shit, I think these guys know something. It's like, yeah, we know something. We're fucking shutting this bitch off. Third quarter. Pull some big ass switch. I imagine it's like some big ass on-off switch, like some sort of Donald Duck cartoon, and you just fucking bang, and then you get the hell out of town. Fake mustache off, gone.
I like it, dog. Are you gonna go through all your?
Thank you.
all your bets or whatever. Didn't you do that last year?
No.
No.
I did that last week.
Oh, you did. Oh, duh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
I had a little Eric Beavers moment. I did not know what a key party was.
A tea party?
I had the wrong key party. Do you know what a key party is?
Is that where everyone puts their keys in a hat? I know.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. I thought a key party for some reason was a bunch of...
It's like
thought
a
a key
swingers
party
party,
was-
right?
What I imagined in my head was a bunch of people passing around like a bag of cocaine and like putting their car keys in it and sniffing it. That's what I thought a key party was.
Yeah.
No, it's where couples go to a party at the house and all the men drop their car keys in a bowl, and then at the end of the night the women like look away and fish the car keys out, and whoever they grab they go home with. I think my definition makes more sense.
Did you go?
But I was like,
this last weekend or
no.
in North? I bet the key parties in North Dakota are mwah, just beautiful.
God. No, I did not. But I had the total wrong definition. I felt like a crazy person.
Okay. This is dumb, but I've spent my entire life. Have you ever heard? Oh my God. I'm trying to do it without saying the name of the songs, but it's a reggae song, and it's like a mother and child reunion. It's all the emotional way. I've spent my entire life thinking that was Bob Marley. 100% thought that was Bob Marley. And it's a fucking white guy by the name of Paul Simon. And it blew my fucking mind off. And I couldn't believe it because I love Paul Simon. And I was listening. I've had Paul Simon radio on my Pandora forever. And that song kept coming up. And I'm like, why is reggae keep popping up on my fucking Pandora? And then I looked at it one day and it just, my life changed because I thought I knew like all the Paul Simon songs. And it's a very famous Paul Simon song. And it's a reggae song. And it sounds like a black person. And it fucking...
It's cultural appropriation.
Yeah, he could not do that song now. Not at all.
I don't think I've heard it. The Oscars is March 12th. I'll be watching. I'll be the only person watching.
Well, you'll fucking get to see some crazy shit again, dog. I can't believe it's been a year since the Will Smith slap.
I know. And people that I was listening to a podcast and they were like, the Oscars is coming March 12th. And they're like, doesn't that feel like the slap heard around the world was just like a few months ago? And I was sitting there and I'm like, it feels like it was years ago to me. That feels like it was like 3 years ago.
Well, that's good. You're back on like kindergarten time because that felt.
I guess that feels that fucking feels like a long fucking time ago. That's crazy that it's only a year. And I'm like, because the Oscars are just so stupid to watch, and it's like Jimmy Kimmel's hosting it, and I'm like, oh God, how do you go from
Jimmy
Chris
Kimmel.
Rock? You go from Chris Rock to fucking Jimmy Kimmel, dude. I'm like, I'm gonna hate watching this boring ass bullshit.
I hate Jimmy Kimmel. With a
and you know they're
passion.
gonna do some fake like whoosh, whoosh.
Oh,
So fucking
for
stupid, dude.
sure, Jimmy. Like for sure,
Yeah.
something's gonna be said there.
Yeah, don't slap me. Oh my God.
Yeah. I realized that Risk is an online game, and my life has changed in the last 4 days because of Risk.
You've been playing Risk online?
Fucking nonstop, dog. Nonstop. I found this game.
Is it like 2D?
It's you're staring at a board, like a board game, like you're staring at a board, like a just
Okay.
it's Risk. It is exactly what Risk is. The only difference is instead of a bunch of little soldiers, you just have numbers. It's just the numbers all over everything, and they just auto populate for you.
Doesn't a Risk game take like 3 days?
No, not at all. Not when I'm playing. No, it's usually a Risk game is usually can be 2 hours, but usually an hour.
No.
And I've found all these other kind of games. They have like mini game, like they have different style games of Risk that are super super fun. They have like one that you could only do on computer. It's called like Fog of War. So you can't see units that you aren't up against. So it makes it like super interesting because you have no idea what other people are doing, around the world. But dude, I'm very invested, very excited about it. I learned it. I've been sick all week, which is just I can't stop getting sick. But
of course, yeah, unhealthy, bad immune system. Smoking, drinking,
cancer. I mark my words, everybody. It's fucking cancer. I'm telling you this. Maybe 4 days ago, maybe 5 days ago, and I have 36 hours playtime in that game already. So, yep.
And people give me shit. Yeah. I've been playing chess on a daily basis.
Versus a computer?
No, versus people.
Like just random people?
Yeah, people that are your same skill rating. It's fucking tough, dude.
Nice.
I'm fighting for my life out here. It's fucking tough.
Nice. You should tell me what you have, and we should play chess together. When do you play?
I play. What?
When do you play?
Oh, all day. Well, I like what you can play, like how there's Words with friends, there's chess with friends, where you just make a move whenever you want. You can put your phone down for 3 hours and then pick it back up and make another move.
Yeah, that would irritate the shit out of me. I'd want to sit down and actually play the game out.
Yeah, there's another app, the chess.com app, where if we both said you want to play a game right now and we both went into the app, then you'd have a 10-minute timer, I'd have a 10-minute timer, and you fucking go. And then when it's my turn, my timer runs. When it's your turn, your timer runs. So then the game goes very quick. That's what I play against strangers with.
Yeah, we should do that. It'd be fun.
I'd do it. I
was just playing chess.
I'm not very good. I'm not very
I'd
good.
Whip your ass.
You probably would. Our listener Chris has whipped my ass multiple fucking times, and my only goal is to beat him. And it's not happened yet. It's fucking difficult. I don't think my IQ is high enough to fucking be good at chess. I'm going to be honest. But I'm going to keep practicing.
Oh, my God. Can't stop yawning. I'm sorry. I don't know why. Yeah, man, God damn it. Never mind. It drives me nuts because there's something on my list, and I know I had a whole rant about it.
But now you don't care?
Well, I don't know what I was getting at. But I kind of know what I was getting at, but I put down Hootie and the Blowfish, Darius Rucker. And I know there was a whole thing there.
I love Darius Rucker, man.
About him coming from Hootie and the Blowfish, becoming a country artist.
And I have a hot take about the Hootie and the Blowfish, too, that people probably wouldn't like.
What's that?
What's their big song? What is it?
I don't know.
Okay, it's not Let Her Cry. It's the other one.
I'm singing in my head, and all I'm coming up with is like Alice in Chains, or like Temple of the Dog, like that Eddie Vedder's voice. I can't hear Darius Rucker's voice.
Only Want to Be With You.
And I only want to be with you.
I think Let Her Cry is a better song than Only Want to Be With You.
Let Her Cry?
That's it. Yeah.
What's that? Is that a Darius?
Song. It's their second most.
Oh, it's still Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can get. That's not. I don't care enough.
Well, when you listen to fucking 90s, when you listen to 90s stations or whatever, they play Only Want to Be With You fucking every 10 minutes. I'm just saying, I don't think it's as good as Let Her Cry. That's my hot take.
I don't know that song, or maybe I do, and I.
But I love Wagon Wheel. Like, that's a fucking great song.
Darius Rucker's version of Wagon Wheel?
Yeah.
No, it irritates the living shit out of me.
Why? You're saying it's bad? It's fucking great.
No, it's been done better by so many people, and for some reason...
Who cares?
Well, no, it makes me mad because it's like, right now, Darius Rucker is very famous, and he's very famous off of that song in particular. It's like blown up, and it irritates me that he's getting so much love like for that song when other bands have done way better. Like to me, no one will beat Old Crow Medicine Show's version of that song. Like it's just not gonna happen. They do the best version of that song.
It might have already happened.
Bar none.
Plus, he did that song like 10 years ago.
Did he? I thought it was like 3 years ago or something like that.
No, it was a long time ago.
You're a liar.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, I have something on here. I guess I don't feel like talking about. I was really worked up this week about something, very upset at some people that I might as well not even talk about it.
That's okay.
I keep having like a.
It was 2013. Wagon Wheel, Darius Rucker.
10 years ago.
Okay, so
that's crazy. I didn't hear his version of that until like 2 years ago. So
yeah.
Do
you want me to bring something?
Yeah,
up?
I have two topics here, and I just can't talk about them.
You're not gonna like this, but I watched the movie 25th Hour again. Great movie. Edward
God,
Norton.
If I have to hear about the 25th Hour anymore, I'm gonna shoot myself.
Spike Lee movie. Spike Lee movie. You did a monologue from that movie on this show.
Oh, did I?
Remember?
Oh,
that?
that's why it's like you said that, and I'm like, man, I feel like I've heard that like so many times from you.
The fucking Upper West Side Italians, fuck them and their fucking greaseball, and it's just going through.
Oh
everything.
yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah. Yep. Now I remember that.
Yeah.
I had Edward Norton's part, right? I think so. It sounded like Edward Norton. Yeah.
In the movie, he's facing. It's in 2001, and he's facing 15 years to life for possession of a kilo of coke. First offense. No prior. I don't know if anything is true about this, like as far as if it's an actual thing, but no prior offenses. Facing 15 years to life for possession of a kilo of coke. So the whole movie is about this final day of freedom, where at the end of the day he is going to turn himself in to be like, I don't know, he's facing 15 years to life and he's going to turn himself in. I don't know how practical any of this is, but that's just the movie. So you get to be with him on his last day as a free man. But it's funny because at the end where it's time for him to go turn himself in and face the charge of 15 years to life, he kind of is at a crossroads where he's like, do I fucking hightail it to the Midwest or the West Coast and get the hell out of here, or do I take the 15 years to life? And I'm not going to tell you what happens, but he kind of faces that predicament, and I'm just like, I'd fucking be out of there, dog. I'd be on the run. Fuck that. And I think that I could make it. And I know you'd be like, you could never make it. You can't live off the grid these days, da-da-da-da. Dude, I could find some guy that's going to let me live behind a bar in Louisiana and just bartend. He'll pay me in cash, and I could have some resemblance of a life. You do 15 years in a fucking New York City penitentiary or whatever, you ain't coming out the same person. I'm out of there. I'm going to run.
Dude, I have not
gone.
necessarily a reoccurring dream, but kind of a reoccurring dream where I'll kill someone, and that won't even be the dream. Like, it's almost like the dream starts, like, right after I kill someone. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I, like, know it's been done. And I'm, like, thinking about what I do. And the idea of actually, you know, in a dream, you can really get into the, you know, where you're at in a headspace. Because you like to think, like, oh, what would it be like to get charged with 10, 15 years in prison? And it's like, oh, that'd suck. But in a dream, you can, like, really get into that thought, like, I'm going to spend 10 years of my life is going to be in prison. And it's like it's the worst dreams, dude. They're so bad. Like, I'd rather be chased by an alligator than those dreams of thinking about, dude, 15 years, it's going to be miserable. I can't do anything. Life's over.
Life's over. I'm out of there.
I just got out of high school fucking 15 years ago. And that's been a long goddamn time.
That's so old. Yeah, that's ancient history. No, I think I can make it. I think I could fucking live off the grid in this country and not get caught.
Well, nowadays, if you live like a fucking hobo and you don't get arrested, you're going to be just fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm going to have some money, too. I mean, I'm going to figure something out.
Yeah. It would be pretty
fuck
hard
that.
to, like, live, like, comfortably. Like, it'd be hard to, like...
No, but I think you could still,
You could,
have
you could, like,
more...
you could rent from someone that their name is on the lease or something like that, but whenever you tried to get into the system at all, it would be very difficult.
No, you'd have to work for cash somehow.
Well, it's not
I think.
that hard, dude. I see Mexicans do it all the time.
There's a lot of illegal immigrants that do it, yeah.
So we like to think, like, well, how would you put a name down? Like, I've seen 15 Mexicans show up at a construction company. They all give the same social security number, and everything's fine. They still get a check that they can go cash.
Yeah.
And that blows my fucking mind.
Oh, but don't you need an ID to cash it?
Well, the person who had I don't know how they do it, but they get checks and they figure out how to fucking cash it, and everything's fine.
I could do it, dude. Yeah, you might not have a glorious life, but you will have more of a life than the opposite. If you're facing that 15 years to life, or I'm fucking running, you could have more of a resemblance of a life.
It would give you the real kick in the ass to do something that I've always liked to do, would be to try to get across the border and either keep going south or, because I think you could live in Mexico and just be yourself with a 15-year prison sentence waiting in America and actually go live, you know what I mean? And not really have to worry about, being extradited or anything like that.
Yeah. It's like the end of Shawshank.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that
sounds pretty nice.
You can make that work. And I've always wanted that kind of lifestyle. That's been my dream since I was a kid is to just fuck it. Let's go.
Okay, then that's why the fucking power outage thing is a good idea. It's a win-win situation.
That dream's dead, dog. I'm married.
No,
I'm married and I have kids. I can't run to Mexico and go live some fucking crazy lifestyle. You can. You're still in that boat, dog. You can do whatever you want. Right. And I wish if I could go back now, and I mean that's a saying, but I'm jealous of the people who like right out of high school like went to Vietnam. You know what I mean? Just said fuck it, I'm going, and had the balls to go do it. And everyone that does that comes back a better person, way better than anybody that just hung around. Hung around. When you get if you are on the opposite side of the planet talking to just complete foreign people, there's no life experience ever that's going to amount to what that is. It's insane. It's so cool. I'm so jealous of people like that. And you can do it. You could do it. I can't do it anymore.
I could do anything.
You could do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, well, maybe I don't know. If I'm facing 15 years to life, I'm fucking going across the planet. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Have you heard about the Republican bill to abolish income tax?
I'm so sick of hearing about this, but yes.
And that it'll make 30% sales tax on everything.
I have heard about this, yes.
It's a good idea, isn't it?
I think so. I've heard arguments for and against it that both make sense to me. I don't know. And again, I'm at the beginning of this episode, that's where I'm at, is I don't care. And I'm sick of arguing about what everyone in the United States is arguing about. I mean, I hate taxes more than anything. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I think it's it would never happen, but I think it's actually a good idea. I like it. Because it gives me more control over when I want to pay taxes. And if I'm not going to buy that TV because of the taxes that I'm going to have to pay on it. And it's just like I can decide when and where instead of just gun to your head, give us this fucking 25%. So I don't know. It seemed like an interesting idea when I was told about it.
Yeah, I mean, I heard one guy go on a whole spiel about how, essentially taxes, a lot of taxes are put in place, like, yes, to pay for things, but where they allocate the taxes, a lot of times, is to incentivize spending. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want you doing this, do this. You know what I'm saying? So they add more taxes to, whether it be capital gains tax or sin tax, with cigarettes and alcohol. Like, essentially, half of taxes you can assume socially in a country is to get you to spend money in certain ways, or how you're going to spend money.
Yeah.
And if you really break down the idea of just sales tax, the idea there is you're incentivizing people not to spend money. And that's not a good idea. And someone brought that up and went on this whole rant. And I was like, I can't exactly argue with that logic, because that makes sense to me. That's kind of seen, like, now take America and now take our competing countries and throw them in that, and then just think of what that's gonna like do to an economy. Like, that's not, it may be like, yeah, that's cooler for everybody, whatever, but economy wise, that may not be the smartest thing to do as a country, to de-incentivize spending money. You know what I mean?
I guess, yeah.
Okay, well, you're bringing up why you're so happy. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
I mean, you're like kind of talking from the position of the people in power.
No, I'm talking... No, because we all benefit from everyone doing good, the whole country doing good.
Well, yeah.
We all benefit from that.
Yeah.
And if our country starts going down and other countries just keep going up, that's really not a good thing, because then we...
Well, yeah, I agree.
We won't be...
Well, yeah, but we have a massive spending problem. I don't know. We spend too much money.
Again... Yeah, I don't know.
There's like $1 trillion of credit card debt.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's an interesting idea. Hey, same reason I liked Andrew Yang, because he started talking about shit that I'd known to talk about before. I've never heard this idea brought up before. So I'm like, oh, that's an interesting idea. It'll never happen, but I never thought about it before.
I would really love... And I feel like completely motivated in this moment. And I feel like the last few days I've been in this bubble. But I'd really love to just not give a fuck about any of this stuff. You know what I mean? About taxes or what. It's just like, dude, I don't care. Literally any topic that they're going to bring up on the news, just don't talk to me about it. But now it's like they TikTok becomes like slowly more and more political. And it drives me nuts. Like, TikTok shouldn't be political.
Oh, yeah.
You should be watching dogs getting kicked in the nuts and just stupid shit like that. I don't want... Yeah. And the problem is I get sucked in. I find myself all the time just getting sucked in. Just getting sucked in.
Sounds like me. Wait till a year from now. Oh, fuck. It's going to be like fucking Fox News on crack on TikTok.
I can't stand it. I can't stand the world.
Dude, there was a class I took in high school that, like, this is my last... Well, actually, I've written down Valentine's Day is February 14th. So people just keep that in mind. It's 3 days. It's, it's this Tuesday. I see people, this girl on Facebook, I'm excited about Valentine's Day because of the 50% off candy afterwards. It's like every year some fucking stupid fucking person has to say the same fucking shit. It's repetitive, annoying. Dude, I took this class in high school that I think really changed my life. And I don't know if it was even offered when you went through. I think I might have been like the first class, but I Googled it, and it's still offered at the high school I went to. It was called Greatest Generation Through Film. Did you ever hear about that?
I actually do think they had. That sounds familiar. Was it in the... Was it in the auditorium, like the lunchroom? Was that where the classroom was? Like,
no.
Like right next to...
It was in one of those trailers.
Oh.
But it was just where you'd watch movies. And it was like the greatest fucking class. Because we watched like... Okay, first of all, we watched Birth of a Nation. Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay, it's like the first movie ever in this country or something like that. It's about the KKK. And it's where, I don't think you could watch it in schools today, but it's like where black people like took over a town and the KKK came in and saved the town from the black people. It's called Birth of a Nation. And that was the first movie we watched in that class. It was kind of insane. And the black people are played by white people in blackface. This was in 2009. Well, that's not when the movie was. That's when we watched it. And it's a silent movie, too. So every once in a while, like, words will pop up where it says, like, get out of this town. And then, go back to the... It's a silent film. But it's like... It was real wild. And then we watched, like, fucking Saving Private Ryan, Forrest Gump. All these kind of... Watch Saving Private Ryan. We watched all these fucking weird... Not weird, but, like... It was supposed to be all about... Movies about, like, our grandparents' generation, what they call the greatest generation. It was interesting. But I really appreciated it because the teacher actually, like, showed me movies that I, like, really, really loved. And it's like, they should let me teach a fucking high school film class. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Pay me $1,000 a week, and I'll teach a high school film class. And it'll be great. I'll be like, kids, like, next movie we're watching Fight Club. After that, we're watching The Shining. So everybody buckle in. This is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I think...
It was fantastic.
I think that's...
And I looked it up, and at the high school now, they offer Greatest Generation through Film 1 and Greatest Generation through Film 2. And I'm like, fuck, they added another one? But I'm like, that's so awesome that they're still doing that. They're probably not watching Birth of a Nation, but still cool.
I remember I was in Mr. Bass's fucking English class, and we had the high school we went to, we only had
Takes me back.
we only had a few black kids in the school, and one of the black kids was in my classroom in Mr. Bass's class. And we got into I loved that teacher so much. Mr. Bass was such an awesome teacher. And we all got, like, into an argument. Like, everyone in the classroom essentially versus him was how the argument was going down. And where we were was on something, it was like the power of words. Like the power of words.
Uh-huh.
And he was so upset. And he was, like, yelling at us. He was very upset. And he's like, you stop arguing with me about the power of words. He's like, words are very powerful. And essentially everyone in the class had the opinion of, like, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Like a more, like that's essentially the vibe we were going down. And just like, words are just words, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, okay. He's like, I'll prove you wrong right now. And he just drops the N-bomb in class in front of everybody.
The teacher?
Oh yeah. With the black kids sitting in class, dog. And everyone's like, oh, shit, dog. And that just goes to show you where we were 13, 14, 15, 16 years ago, 17 years ago, is no goddamn way would a teacher say that. But what was cool is it wasn't bad. Like, no one took it bad, and it really wasn't. But now we're in this day and age where, because he was proving a point, and he was right, because it made us all shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, it destroyed our argument. Was that words aren't powerful. And he's like, words are very powerful. Like, what are you talking about? And we're like, no, they aren't. And everyone's arguing. He's like, I'll say one word. And he just fucking boom. And everyone's like, whoa. Yeah, it was crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, he didn't just, like, go down the staircase. He just fucking leapt to the bottom.
Yeah. I mean, I respect him for it. And he wasn't doing it in any way. He was doing it as a good educator. And now it sucks that educators couldn't do... There's so many things educators can't do because it's like, oh, that's bad. And it's like, yeah, it's bad to say that word, but he's not saying it maliciously, and he's not saying it to try to, like, fit into black culture. He's saying it to teach. You know what I mean? To, like...
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. But I'm not going to agree with you. I think you could have
you're fucking
made the point with a different word.
No, okay, whatever. I think you've been...
Well, maybe.
It's pretty powerful with that fucking word. He made a movie moment in a classroom, and it was one of the only movie moments in a classroom that I've ever experienced. It was powerful. It really was. Yeah. It wasn't like... It sounds... stupid, either like corny or horridly offensive now, but we have taken racism way too goddamn far, like way too. And I know it's a stupid topic to go down, but like that wasn't it wasn't racist. I don't know. Just now I'm just irritated by thinking about that. Because you're just like,
that's a good story.
You're just like, well, you could have used another word. Like, no, fuck off. That's not the point. That's not the point.
No, I get the point.
Okay.
I get the point. I get what the point he was trying to make. And I love that. I'll never say anything bad about that man.
Yeah. I've wondered where, he's the one teacher. I've always wondered where he's at. Like what he's up to.
He quit when I was there.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Oh, I always had this weird fantasy that he was like still in the school.
No, he quit when I was there, and I said, "Where are you going?" And he said either like Hope or Clark Fork or something. He said a name of a different high school, and he said because they actually give a damn about education. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Damn, dog.
That's interesting. Interesting stuff.
Well,
dude, Super Bowl. I can't wait. Tomorrow's like Christmas. Best day of the year.
I'm going to a Super Bowl party. I'm not.
Well,
of course you aren't. You're going to be like super serial. And you're murdered in watching fucking football.
Locked in, dude. Focused.
Do you like, so even though you're by yourself, do you like make it an event? Do you like get chips and dip out and soda and beans and stuff like that? Or no?
No. I don't do that. I'm wearing like a birthday hat or something with like a balloon.
I'm not saying that far, but you know, maybe spend some time getting food ready, you know, wings ready or something like that.
No, I'm just excited. I'm focused.
Oh, you don't eat trash anymore, so you're gonna be sitting there with like celery sticks and water.
I'll probably make. Dude, I've been eating wings like 4 nights a week. I'll probably make wings.
Nice.
Dude, I make better wings than I can buy from any place around here. They're so good. They're like candy. Oh. I get so... I've never really made something that I'm like excited about. But they're fucking so good. 20 minutes, done. Amazing. I love wings. I'm sorry. No carbs.
Oh.
No carbs in wings.
Have you watched The Menu?
Yeah.
The movie's terrible. I hated that fucking movie more
What?
than anything, dude.
What? Oh my god.
Movie.
Well, first of all, I want to say something about that girl, Anna Taylor-Joy. How she's like the hot shit right now. I think I'm a little like over the hype. I think she's kind of oversaturating the market because I've seen her in like fucking half a dozen things at this point. I think she came out a little too hot.
Yeah, that movie was dumb as shit. I felt like it started so strong. Midway through the movie was like, damn, this is cool. And then just the whole wrap up to the movie was like, this was lazy and not thought out. This was really dumb, and it's a bad story. It's not a good story.
There's no story.
It's
There's
you're
no
trying
point.
to.
There's no point to
you're trying to be like it's going for the good movie, like vibe, like great good movie. And they just ruin it. The ending is so stupid. It's not. It's just such a letdown. Everything's such a fucking letdown. And then you want to like to me, like the end of The Departed. You want to say the rat crossing the fucking pole was like, it's so fucking. It's so bad. It's just, why'd they put that in the movie? The whole fucking cheeseburger, which lasted like 10 minutes, was just so fucking stupid. It was just the dumbest ending. Like, what a horrible, object you can, tie the movie into. And then she sits down like fucking a Carl's Jr. commercial and fucking eats this burger. Like, shut the fuck up. And I don't give a fuck if I just ruin the movie for anybody. It's fucking terrible. Not a good movie. I don't care what anybody says.
I was not as let down as you were because I knew it was kind of... I could tell that this was kind of like a very small movie that I just didn't see them coming to some grand conclusion or grand lesson.
It could have been so much cooler. They could have... The way it started and the scene they painted was like, oh, this is cool. I like this. This is cool. And
I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that. But the thing was, I still liked it at the end because I was like, that was like a movie that I've never seen a movie like that before, and any movie that it's like I've never seen a movie like that before, I appreciate. But when it ended,
I'll take that. I'll take
that.
Like, but it still made me.
Yeah,
mad.
I'd never seen a movie. Yeah, I'd never seen a movie like that before, and when it ended stupidly, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. The whole movie is stupid. This whole movie, there's just no grand statement being made. It's all just ridiculous. So. And
then less recently, I don't think I ever talked about it. I'm assuming I'd watched this since the last time we did this, but I don't know. The Glass Onion, that fucking movie was fucking terrible too. Such a stupid goddamn movie.
I'm gonna be honest. I think that one was worse than The Menu.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Except it has Madeline Klein. Madeline Klein was in it, and she was the only reason I watched it. I'm not gonna lie, but still, and that thing's up for fucking Oscars at the Oscars. I'm like, God damn it, get the fuck out of here.
That's up for Oscars. Such a terrible fucking movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
So bad.
Oh God. Well, it's stupid. Oh God, and people hated that it included COVID in it, and it's just like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, it was absolutely terrible.
Well, did you see the first one? I thought the first one was pretty good.
No, that's funny that you just said that because I thought that there was like two things there, and then I like searched for it after I watched that movie, and I like couldn't find anything I didn't spend long, but I was like, oh, okay, maybe I was wrong. Why did I feel like this was two movies? And now that you say that,
yeah, Knives Out.
Yeah,
Knives Out. I thought the first one was pretty good. I'm not.
Wait, so which one did I watch? I watched the one with Dave Bautista or whatever.
Yeah, Knives Out, Glass Onion.
That's the first one or the second one?
Second one.
Okay.
The first one was just Knives Out.
Is it the same idea or is it a totally different movie?
Same idea, like where someone's dead and we have to figure out who did it.
But not the same world at all?
No, the only one that's the same is James Bond.
Oh, the...
He's in the first one.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah. Everyone else is different. I watched the Birdcage.
Daniel Craig. You never seen the Birdcage?
No, you told me to watch it like a year ago.
Oh, did I? And?
Yeah.
It's a great fucking movie.
I loved it a lot.
Why do you always you always scoff whenever I say like, oh, that movie's really good, you should watch it. You're like,
dude, that's because so many people recommend terrible shit for me to watch.
I wouldn't do you that way, dog. I would never do you that way. And I feel like at this point, I don't recommend movies that aren't good fucking movies. I don't recommend.
Yeah, I don't recommend movies that aren't good movies. I laughed. There was one part that made me laugh so fucking hard. But in the beginning, in like the first 5 minutes, there's a lot of pretty not very well dressed dudes. Then I was like, I don't know if I can make it through this fucking movie. But as soon as you got to just Robin Williams and Nathan Lane, and it was just them, then you're like, okay, now
it's so funny, dude. Like them two playing two gay guys as a couple. It's just comedy fucking gold, dude. It's so good. It honestly might be one of Robin Williams' best comedies. It makes me fucking giggle.
Maybe, yeah. Okay. You were probably right. There was just a scene where Robin Williams is playing straight, and he's just being like, "Hey, how's it going, man?" And it's like, and he's sitting there straight, very non-gay, and he's sitting across from Gene Hackman, and he's just like fucking very playing it fucking perfectly straight, and then the butler pops the champagne bottle, and he just goes like, "Ah!" and and then he goes right back to fucking playing it straight, and I'm just like, oh, it killed me laughing.
Just imagining it right now makes me giggle because
it's very funny.
That makes my heart happy. Well, you want to wrap it up, dog?
Yeah, man, I got shit. I'm like a little kid on Christmas Eve. The sooner I get to bed, the sooner tomorrow comes.
Oh, the fucking Super Bowl. Fuck the Super Bowl.
Whatever happens, I bleed green. I can't wait for a Rihanna halftime show. I'd like to call her mommy, if you know what I'm saying. And whatever happens, ride with the Eagles. It'll be all right. I'm happy we made it this far, baby.
Rock and roll. Well, we'll see you guys later. We love you. Episode 98. We are creeping on 100. Is Brad going to come to Portland? We don't know. Stay tuned.
Who knows?
Bye.
Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Big time, lot of sun. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Big time, big time, big time. Big time. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Lot of signs, smoky in the air, that's a lot of crime. Pockets running over with the dollar signs. Try to take it from me. Big time. Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time.